Hello my little kittens, I welcome you all to your today's chemistry session, and this class is going to be super duper amazing because we are going to revise the entire analytical chemistry in less than 1 hour. Yes, so if in case you haven't covered this topic yet, then come here, bring your notebook and pen along with you and start studying with your favorite chemistry master teacher Shilpi Mam at Vidantu. So I have completed my masters in chemistry from NIT Jalandhar, and rest of the information about Shilpi Mam is already written on the screen, so you can get the idea about ma'am. Yes, thoda bahut to jante honge, I'm very sure. And if you are coming to the session for the very first time, then do not forget to subscribe to the channel because we are starting the mentee sessions, the mentee wars for ICSE students as well, right? So we would be having this week only, we will be conducting a mentee session as well, so you can go and just attend that, okay, on time. So let's start with the chotu sa chemistry joke. Do you know carbon went for dating? Really? Yes, I can see that on the screen. Tell me, where have you been all my life? One carbon atom to another carbon atom on a date. But are they making a covalent bond? I don't know. But you can see that carbon dating ke liye. Which carbon? Carbon 14. Carbon atom having a mass of 14 units. Okay, that has went to carbon dating. Now let Shilpi Mam know more about it in the comment section. So although we should not interfere in carbon's dating life, but yeah, why not? So we can discuss that at least in the comment section. Yes, and by the end of the video, you would be able to answer this question. Let's read it. You are provided with 2 reagent bottles marked as A and B. Okay, out of which of these contains ammonium hydroxide? Like one bottle contains ammonium hydroxide and other contains sodium hydroxide solution. How will you identify them by a chemical test? So ma'am is going to teach you the entire analytical chemistry here in less than 1 hour, and by the end of the video in the comment section you have to let ma'am know the answer of this very question. Yes, shuru karte hain. So analytical chemistry in just one shot. So first of all, we need to see the topics that we are going to cover up in this video. Basically, analysis. When I say analysis, what is the exact meaning of it? Now in your syllabus, you have to discuss only 2 bases: action of sodium hydroxide solution and action of ammonium hydroxide on certain metal salt solutions. Now why are we doing this? We will understand each and everything, but before doing this portion you should be aware about the color of the salts and the solutions. Okay, and actions of alkalis on metals, that is a very chotu sa topic because not all the metals are going to react with alkalis. Obviously only the amphoteric ones do. So we have a trick for that also. Shuru karte hain. So when I say analysis, let's say you go to a chemistry lab. In chemistry lab mein jaakar your teacher has given you an organic compound. I have given you one compound and you don't know the nature of it. You have no idea about it. Some random compound in a packet I have given you, and I want to ask from you that can you tell me what exactly is this compound? Whether it is an acid, like it's having an acidic group, carboxylic acid group, or it is an alcohol, or let's say it's an aldehyde. Yeah, I want to know whether it is a cyclic compound or it's an open compound, simply aliphatic hai ya fir aromatic hai, whether it is having carbon-carbon single bonds or some unsaturation is present. I want to know each and everything about it. So what will you do? So you will take that compound, you would be doing certain reactions in the chemistry lab, you will study the observations, and based on the observation you will decide isme kya hai. So that is how we do the analysis. Ya fir let's say I have given you a sample of hard water. Hard water mein ma'am is asking from you that please tell me what is the basic, you can say uske andar kitna zyada hardness hai. Okay, what is the concentration of calcium and magnesium ions present in it? So that is also one sort of analysis. Determination of chemical components in the given sample is what we call as analysis, and this analysis is of basic two types: qualitative analysis and quantitative. The name is telling you qualitative analysis. जैसे कि let's say I have given you a metal salt. Now in this metal salt, I want my students to tell me कि मुझे बताओ which metal ion is present there. Whether this salt is having copper 2+ as the metal ions, ferrous ion is there, ferric ion is there. So what are you going to do? You will go to the qualitative analysis. ठीक है, या फिर I want to know that in the organic compound कौन सा function group present है. That's alcohol, that's acid. So it involves the identification of the unknown substances. And when I talk about this qualitative analysis, you need a reagent here. Jैसे let's say I have given you an unknown substance, this. You don't know that's an acid, so you would be taking this compound and you will treat it with some reagent. Let's say आपने इसे treat किया with sodium hydrogen carbonate, with any reagent. So that is the substance which reacts with the other substance, a reagent, and that will help me to do my qualitative analysis and tell me the respective group which is present in the compound. Okay, so you can say, "Arey ma'am, there is evolution of carbon dioxide gas, and carbon dioxide gas is turning lime water milky." So based on those observations, you can get a lot of idea about the original substance that is given to you. हो सकता है ना? That is easy. ठीक है. Now the next thing, quantitative analysis. The name is telling you quantity of a substance. It involves the determination of composition. जैसे I have taken the example of hard water. So in the hard water, you want to get the estimate about the hardness कितना present है. You want to know the concentration of the given base that you have used in any experiment, concentration of the acid. So when I want to talk in numbers, then that analysis is something that is quantitative analysis. Easy peasy, not difficult. Okay, so now what are we going to do in your syllabus? In your syllabus, we don't have to do itna sara analysis of functional group, organic compounds. We are only concerned with the metal salt. I will be provided with the salt of a metal, and I have to tell in my exam that which metal ion is present in the given metal salt. Okay, कौन सा metal ion है? So you choose to treat it with a base. What we would be doing? We would be treating this given metal salt with the respective base, and that base in your syllabus is sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Now when you are treating metal salt with the base, there would be a simple double displacement reaction that would be taking place, exchange of ions, and you will get one metal hydroxide as the precipitate. Metal hydroxide precipitate बनाता है, and that metal hydroxide is precipitated out with a color, with some color, or in lot of cases there is no color. So now studying that color, I can guess about the presence of metal ion, which metal ion was present in my given metal salt. But again, for this you should remember the color. And the only part about analytical chemistry I also don't like personally is that you have to remember some colors, but that's not very much difficult. So ma'am has some tricks for you. जैसे the salt of representative elements are generally colorless. When I say representative elements, कौन आएगा representative elements में? Main group elements. We are talking about main group elements. That means elements of group number 1, group number 2, group number 13 to group number 17. You have to 17, exclude the noble gases. Group 1, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. These elements are the representative elements, and their salt would be colorless. And do you know the reason? अगर आपको reason पता है why, then let ma'am know in the comment section of the video. I will be watching your answers. And well, the reason, to some extent ma'am is telling you that you know they don't have any free vacant orbitals. So कभी भी color क्यों आता है? When electron makes some transition to some vacant atomic orbital, you can say, although you haven't done this topic, but still I'm telling you some idea. Let's say these are the vacant atomic orbital. So what happens? Electron यहाँ पर है, and if some another orbital is available जो vacant है, electron can make a transition. by absorbing the energy. Now when electron comes back to its ground state, then it releases the absorbed amount of energy. Emission hota hai, and that is usually responsible for imparting a color. But when we talk about the representative elements, they do not have free vacant orbitals as such. So in those cases, transitions are also forbidden. Anyway, let's talk about the color. Color kahan par aayenge? Color aayenge for the transition elements. Group D elements. When I talk about transition elements, means group D elements that you would be having. D block आप कह सकते हो. Group D as in ma'am is talking about the D block elements, and group specific क्या होगा? Group number 3 to group number 12 में generally you are having the D block elements. So इनके salts are usually colored, although we have an exception of zinc. If you take the zinc metal ion, then again it has a complete D10 configuration. It doesn't have any vacant orbital to make the transition. So वहाँ पर उस case में this is also colorless. Okay, metal salts are colorless for it. Okay, so ma'am is going to show you some variety of colors. Now don't worry, ma'am, how will we remember so many colors? So first of all, you should be aware about the name of the respective cation. This is ammonium ion, sodium ion. So you know that metals make the cations only. Metals make the positively charged ions. So you can see some examples and the respective cation that they are having, and different color of colored salts help in their identification during the qualitative analysis. Now cupric ion is having ma'am's favorite color, Cu2+, that is cupric ion, and when I say cuprous, that is Cu+1. Okay, blue for cupric ion. Okay, when I say ferrous ion, like your AG ma'am also uses this trick, I've learned from her. So you are having the ferrous ion that is having a light green color. So you know your Hulk is there, and then Hulk, Iron Man आपको पता है, everyone knows Iron Man, and Iron Man का ही friend है Hulk. So that green Hulk color is there for the ferrous ion. ठीक है, then we have ferric ion, that is yellow color, like you can remember the suit of the Iron Man, something like that. So you can make your own tricks. Okay, so whenever you have to remember the color, then try to remember some tricks. Just say if you remember rusting of iron, usme bhi there's this brownish yellowish layer kind of thing, so you can relate to it and you can try to remember the colors. Okay, then we are having the nickel ion, green color. Okay, so it's metal hydroxides. When metal ion is this nickel 2+ ion, then that would be giving me a green color. Like chromium, again green, manganese pink color, and so on. So these are some anions. Okay, then we are having the next thing. Ma'am, how will we see the precipitates? Now, how is it helping us in the analysis actually? So ma'am is going to tell you all of that, so just stay connected and try to remember these colors. Okay? Chalo. Now the next thing is about the Vidantu regular subscription, I want to tell you. So if you want to be a part of Vidantu's regular subscription, like regular courses, if you are anyhow interested in that, so what you have to do, like first of all, ma'am, why would I be interested in that? Because you know that your syllabus has been divided into 2 terms, term 1 and term 2. है ना, so term wise हो गया है division. So now you are having, you know, a better chance to get your target score. Like you want to gain 95% plus. Now that is not very much difficult, but provided you follow a systematic pattern. Okay, so it's not like you would be doing and just, you know, you will take it lightly. Ab to nahi padna hai. You still need a proper direction, a proper plan, a strategy, because you are ICSE students, so you need some strategy. Yes, your syllabus is also vast as compared to other board examinations, so you have to take it seriously, and what ma'am is going to tell you is going to be super awesome for you. Just in 1 month you can cover a lot of your syllabus, and especially if I talk about term 1, then you would be able to cover it easily. It's just that you have to be attentive enough in the sessions. You have to take the sessions, because Vidantu offers you unlimited live classes. So when you get unlimited live classes, it's very similar to your Amazon Netflix subscription, jahan par you are paying for 1 month or for 1 year, and then you are getting the unlimited movies. Just the same way you are having unlimited live classes from your favorite master teachers, you get micro courses, and you are getting a long-term batch in which teachers would be helping you throughout the academic year. So if you trust us enough that ma'am, I want to go with both term 1 and term 2, you have been watching Vedantu's session on YouTube for quite a long time, then you can go and take full year program also. Matlab till your final exam, you have a guarantee with that. It means we are assuring you that by the end of the year, definitely you would be making some improvement. And if you don't improve, then your money would be returned back by Vedantu. That is what we are having. Okay, now apart from that, unlimited live classes you would be getting, so you don't have to worry about the live classes. I got a white color, if I am not wrong. So that was the white color. It's like, yay. I never observed that. So unlimited live classes are there. So I'm like, yeah, I guess now only it got updated. Yeah. So unlimited live classes are there, and you know, high level quizzes would be there. So now it's very important to compete in the class, है ना? So वो बहुत ज़रूरी है, and when that thing is gonna come up, when you are competing with the students throughout the world, so you have a chance of standing out from everyone, because when you are preparing yourself in the early stages of competition, then you have a very high chance of getting a success in your life, isn't it? Compete with the students throughout the world. So on Vidantu, we are having student registration from more than 35 plus countries. That is amazing now, isn't it? So you are preparing yourself for competition already in advance, and interactive replays are there. So during the live sessions, we are having lots of quizzes that we conduct, and if in case you miss a live session, you can go and watch its replay, and even in the replay you would be still able to attend the quizzes, you would be able to see the leaderboards and everything. That's amazing. And for ICSE students, you need to make an early enrollment, because in this month of August we are having a special discount. So if you somehow delay it, agar aap delay karte ho, you miss it by any chance, then you will be into the, you will be getting the subscription the very next month, and that will, like, the prices will increase. And also if you are taking the early enrollment, then syllabus completion bhi sabse pehle hoga, so that is the best part. Plus you don't need to worry about the content. So handwritten notes would be given to you. Notes would be like pure notes आपको मिलेंगे, and if you are for the full year program, then you also get the hard copies. So that is also amazing. So whatever class teachers are making the notes in the live sessions, you would be able to download them post the class. So think about it. Try it for 1 month. I'm not advising you that you directly go for 1 year. No, 1 month is more than sufficient. And if you think, ma'am, who will be taking our doubts? Like on YouTube, your doubts are not being addressed every time, isn't it? So in most of the cases, they are actually left behind. So then in that case, in class doubt solving is there, jahan par you would be getting the quality test and assignments as well. Okay, quality test and assignments आपको मिलेंगे after the class, and during the live session we have a team of class teachers that help you and with your live class doubt solving. So that is something very important. Unlimited micro courses are there. Yes, now that is something really you can think about. So now what you need to do, you just have to go in the description box of this video. You will get a link, 10% discount, and you can apply Shilpi Mam's coupon code, that is SKA Pro, and get into 1 month enrollment and finish your term 1 exam. Hurry up. So more classes, I would say unlimited classes at a lesser price. And your batch for ICSE is also starting this week only. Okay? So you can just make an early enrollment and you can just go over there. Okay? Okay, so coupon code is written over here. Now the next thing that I would be having is the action. Now we will study this. Action of sodium hydroxide solution on certain metallic salt solutions. Now why are we doing this? Now let ma'am see. Yeah. When you have a metal salt, you would be treating it with a base, ma'am has told you, and that base would be helping the metal ion to get as a precipitate, and then we will observe the color of that precipitate. So first base that we are starting up with is sodium hydroxide. So all that ma'am has told you is written over here. The color of precipitate will help us to identify the metal ion. That is what qualitative analysis is all about. And in some of the cases, some precipitated metal hydroxides dissolve in excess of sodium hydroxide to give a soluble complex. Now such kind of reactions would be very important, so we will go and just see that. Okay, and also potassium hydroxide भी NaOH की तरह reaction देगा, ठीक है. So if in question some different base like potassium hydroxide is taken, then you don't have to worry. Just similar kind of reactions you would be getting. Just उसमें instead of sodium ion, just write potassium ion. जैसे this is sodium nitrate, वहाँ पर you will get the potassium nitrate. So let's say we want to identify a salt of calcium metal ion. Okay, so I have taken calcium nitrate, but I don't know this is present here. I'm doing analysis, then I will be treating it with a base, and that is a very simple DD reaction. So in the DD reaction, how will you make the product? Simply exchange the ions among the reactants. So this here I am having calcium ion and 2 nitrate ions. Here I am having sodium ion and OH ions. So what will happen? One calcium ion will be combining with 2 OH ions. So I would be requiring 2 moles. Okay, 1 calcium and 2 OH precipitated out as calcium hydroxide, and these 2 sodium ions combined with 2 nitrate ions and leads to the formation of a salt that would be sodium nitrate. Very simple. So now you can see when you are doing this reaction, then calcium hydroxide के white precipitates would be obtained. So precipitate, you know, is an insoluble solid that is formed during the course of reaction. So just by analyzing that color, and it's the salt of a representative metal ion. कौन सा metal ion है? Representative metal ion. So I told you they are usually colorless. So यहाँ पर you would be getting a white precipitate. Now similarly you have to do for the rest of the metal ions. I am having the ferrous salt over here. Fe2 plus ferrous sulfate I have taken. Again sodium sulfate, and you would be having FeOH2. So यहाँ पर you get green precipitate. Remember ma'am told you that color बताया था मैम ने. The same thing. So वो color याद हो जाएंगे, then you will get the whole color here as well. So complete the reaction for ferric ion. Important है, here you are getting reddish brown precipitate because of presence of Fe3 plus. I told you about that iron man का जो suit होता है, that is like reddish brown in color है ना, and this iron man. So you can remember the color. FeCl3 में iron is in +3 oxidation state. So again we are doing the exchange of ions. Copper salts, copper ये वाला मैम ने बताया था, you are having Cu2 plus. Cupric ion के salts are blue in color. That shall be ma'am's favorite color. Okay, so देखो blue color से ही दिखाया है सब कुछ, and that here again Cu+2 आया है, precipitated out in the form of blue PPT. Basically यहाँ पर आपको मिलेगा. That would be very simple. यहाँ पर हाँ, they have shown it here. Okay, that would be simple. Again DD reaction is happening in each one of that, but now I told you about the zinc salt, zinc 2 plus metal ion. Remember transition के लिए मैम ने बताया था D block elements के metal ions will be generally colored except for zinc. There you go. Okay, white gelatinous precipitate would be obtained. So same thing is happening here. Zinc ion is there, sulfate is here, sodium ion and OH ions. So this one zinc ion combines with 2 OH ions, and because sulfate is having a charge of -2, so it will also combine with 2 sodium ions. So sodium sulfate and zinc hydroxide, white gelatinous PPT. Gelatinous means you can say jelly like. J would be the spelling. Jelly like appearance वाले precipitate is obtained. ठीक है? Very simple, not difficult. So now this is important. When you are passing, when you are taking axis of base, zinc hydroxide बन गया, and now you have taken axis of base like sodium hydroxide. So axis of base में यहाँ पर you are getting a soluble complex, sodium zincate you would be getting. So try to remember those metal ions जिनके केस में they are also the hydroxide. Metal hydroxide is soluble in axis of base. those reactions will be very much important and can be asked in the exam, so you have to be like very much active. So I have taken lead nitrate here, सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड, अगेन लेड हाइड्रोक्साइड विल बी प्रेसिपिटेटेड आउट, वाइट पीपीटीज के मिलेंगे आपको, दैट इज रेडिली सॉल्युबल इन एसिटिक एसिड. होमवर्क क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, आई वांट द रिएक्शन फॉर दिस चेंज, द प्रेसिपिटेट लेड हाइड्रोक्साइड का रिएक्शन आई वांट इन द एसिटिक एसिड इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. You have to let ma'am know, okay? Very good. So this is again important. I told you lead hydroxide जो precipitate बना है, this white PPT would be soluble in axis. ये axis यहाँ पर आएगा, axis of sodium hydroxide. And पीछे जाके also correct that chromate का formula. I guess that was also written wrong there. So correct कर लेना, ठीक है? Okay. So axis of sodium hydroxide में I am getting a soluble complex. ठीक है? So it would be colorless and water soluble. Water soluble means it is not in the form of precipitate. So once you have your metal hydroxide का precipitate pass axis of lead hydroxide, then that, pass axis of base sodium hydroxide, and that would be soluble over there. You will say, ma'am, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? यहाँ पर is copper hydroxide will be soluble in axis of NaOH? I don't know. I will tell you a trick here. Amphoteric metal के hydroxides, amphoteric metal hydroxides would be soluble in the axis of base. जैसे देखो zinc is actually amphoteric, lead is amphoteric, and also you are having what? Zinc, lead and aluminium भी आप जो पढ़ते हो, they are amphoteric. So their metal hydroxides generally you will find that they are soluble in axis of base that you are treating. Lead के साथ भी यही हुआ है, okay? And remember the composition also. The next base that we would be discussing is remember ammonium hydroxide. वहाँ पर भी बहुत easy reactions हो गया, but before that let's see one more ion. This is important, mention कर लो, ammonium salt. When sodium hydroxide or any water soluble base, I have taken sodium hydroxide, okay, and it is heated with ammonium salt. So ammonium salt basic मैंने ले लिया है, ammonium chloride. You can also take ammonium sulfate with sodium hydroxide, and when you are treating them together, slightly heat के medium में from your ammonium salt, there would be just instant release of ammonia gas. कभी कभी आता है एग्जाम में, which gas would be released over here? That is ammonia gas, a pungent smelling gas. So from the ammonium salts, when they are treated with some base like sodium hydroxide, then which gas would be released? Ammonia gas. कर सकते हो heat करने पे थोड़ा सा, and apart from that salt and water would be there. ठीक है, चलो. So one thing ma'am wants to tell you that Vidantu has produced brilliant results, unstoppable, outstanding results in JEE Main 3. So when we keep on coming up with crash courses, 1 month fast track revision, then we guarantee the improvement, because ICSE maybe we have produced the brilliant results. So I would just say that, you know, your 10th standard comes only one time, so you should never take risk that, you know, you just for some 1,000 2,000 rupees you are taking a risk. That's not really worth it. So you should go and try the subscription for 1 month. Your stress would be released out of you. We say toppers का नया address क्या है? That is Vedantu. 27 students scored 99.9 plus percentile in JEE Main. Now that is something very amazing. 1 and 2 students scored 97 plus percentile. Brilliant. So we can have a big round of applause for students, because they are stars coming from you only. They are no special children. They are no special student. There's nothing like a special student. It's just the ordinary people working hard. That's what makes them special. No? Yes. Okay, so now the next is action of ammonium hydroxide on certain salt solutions. Now one thing you need to remember about ammonium hydroxide, this is a weak base. जब आपने sodium hydroxide लिया था, that was a strong base. So whatever is the amount of sodium hydroxide you are taking, that was completely getting ionized. to give me OH ions. Lots of OH ions were coming there, but ammonium hydroxide being a weak base which is partially ionized. Okay, so the amount of OH ions that you would be getting here is relatively less as compared to the amount of OH ions coming from the sodium hydroxide. Getting the point? Because wo sodium hydroxide was completely ionized, but this is partially ionized. So otherwise the whole thing will remain same. Calcium ion. No precipitate of calcium hydroxide occurs even with addition of excess of ammonium hydroxide. Let's say you have taken कोई भी calcium का salt, ठीक है, and treating it with ammonium hydroxide, then ammonium hydroxide being a weak base produces very low concentration of OH ions. So these hydroxide ions are not sufficient enough to precipitate out this metal hydroxide, sorry. Okay, so this metal hydroxide won't be precipitated out because of the weak nature of ammonium hydroxide. So एक तो cancel हो गया, but if you take sodium hydroxide, वहाँ पर you will get the precipitate. ठीक है? Okay, the next is your iron में दोनों cases we have to discuss. Fe2 plus के अंदर same thing you are getting here, just the same reaction. Sorry, Fe2 plus sulfate treated with ammonium hydroxide, ammonium ion, OH ion. So this Fe2 plus combines with two OH ions and precipitate out in the form of dirty green precipitate, ferrous ion, and 2 ammonium 1 sulfate would be giving us ammonium sulfate. Very similar reaction. You can see over here dirty green kaisa color hoga, dirty green precipitates would be there. Okay, now the next thing, what happens with the ferric ion के case में you are getting the reddish brown precipitates, FeOH3, just like that. The rest of the reaction would be similar. यहाँ पर भी reddish brown PPT होंगे. Now when this reaction is happening, यहाँ पर you have taken simple FeCl3 yellow solution. Ferric chloride लिया था, treated with simple ammonium hydroxide. यहाँ पर we have taken the sulfate. Not chloride but the sulfate. Again the reaction is just double displacement because precipitation is a type of double displacement reaction. So product banana is very simple. Just simply exchange the ions and then remember the color. Simple. ठीक है, यहाँ पर देखो cupric के लिए is there. We have taken copper sulfate treated with ammonium hydroxide, copper hydroxide, blue precipitate. Similar, just same. Just try to remember some of the metal ions के colors, that is important. And यहाँ पर this reaction is a characteristic property of Cu2 plus ion, cupric ion, because it is also used in qualitative analysis when you are taking this precipitate. जब आप ये blue PPT लेंगे and you treat it with excess of base ammonium hydroxide, then there would be a deep blue color का solution complex that would be formed. Homework question number 3. I want the name of this complex in the comment section. Yes, name you would be telling me. ठीक है, simple. And again I'm telling you these reactions are important. Then you have your favorite amphoteric metal ion, zinc sulfate with ammonium hydroxide, again gelatinous white precipitate, like jelly like appearance. It can float, like majority आपको दिखते हैं the precipitate they just settle down, but gelatinous वाले they can just float around on the surface also, jelly की तरह they can just be pressed over there. And then when you take the zinc hydroxide के precipitate with excess of base, then again complex formation is there. So try to remember these reaction of complex formation, they are very much important. ठीक है? Okay, now the lead nitrate amphoteric, again treated with ammonium hydroxide, you get a chalky white precipitates. Double displacement, exchange the ion. So you all are doing great. You can take a pause, you can relax for a moment, and then you can see this. Because you should always, you can pause the video and then do some stretching, body exercises, and then just come back again with a bang. The last topic that we're going to do here is the action of alkalis on the metals. So now you need to remember there was the scientist Lewis who said that metals, you know that हमें पता है metals तो electron acceptors होते हैं. I would like to talk about alkalis. Lewis का definition, he said that they are electron donors. एल्कलीज क्या होते हैं? वाटर सॉल्यूबल बेसिस, एंड बेसिस उन्होंने बोला था इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनर्स. एंड इफ यू टॉक अबाउट मेटल्स, देन मेटल इज आल्सो अ स्पीशीज दैट इज एन इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनर. सो टेक्निकली रिएक्शन होना ही नहीं चाहिए. इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनर, देयर शुड बी अ रिपल्शन, बट देयर आर सर्टेन एल्कलीज and metals की reactions होती हैं. Only those metals which are amphoteric metals would be reacting here. Ma'am has told you, yani zinc, aluminium, lead, they react with hot concentrated alkalis to give the corresponding salt and hydrogen gas. So the reaction is very simple. Zinc is more reactive than hydrogen. Hydrogen less reactive hai, so zinc would be displacing hydrogen, goes out as H2 gas, and there would be a metal salt formation, that is sodium zincate here. The same thing happens with potassium hydroxide mein zinc is displacing hydrogen, salt, and there would be liberation of hydrogen gas which burns with a pop-up sound. You can detect it very easily. The same thing with aluminium, but yahan par you have to take boiling and dilute alkali, so water should also be added here. ठीक है, बॉइलिंग एंड डाइल्यूट एल्कली आपको लेना है, तभी रिएक्शन होगा. यू वुड बी गेटिंग सोडियम एल्यूमिनेट along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. ठीक है, and apart from that the same thing happening here potassium hydroxide के केस में. And then the last one amphoteric is lead. Lead displacing hydrogen goes out as H2 gas, and salt would be getting, okay, sodium plumbate, potassium plumbate. So you have to remember, and just like that sorry ma'am is having sore throat. Action of alkalis on metal oxide, बिल्कुल वही तरह metal oxides are also generally basic in nature. Okay, so they are basic. How can you confirm that? Take sodium oxide. Now you know it is basic because in water this would be producing a base like sodium hydroxide, या फिर you can also treat it with an acid. So we know that acid and base reacts to give us what? Salt and water. So that's a sort of neutralization reaction. So it is confirming that sodium oxide is acting as a base here. But there are just few metallic oxides जो dual behavior दिखाते हैं. And you know the name now? I want to hear that in the comment section. Come on. Yes ma'am, amphoteric oxides, amphibians जैसे होते हैं, land and sea दोनों पे रहते हैं, and amphoteric भी they would be say we can behave as an acid as a base. Okay, so they would be reacting with both of them. जैसे आप ले सकते हो zinc oxide here reacting with the base to give salt and water. So यहाँ पर इसका nature है to act like an acid. Acid and base, salt and water, that's simple. Again, DD reaction that you can show. So same thing happen here, salt and water you would be getting. Now zinc hydroxide, zinc OH2, यहाँ पर तो हो ही रहा है reaction. Okay, so you can see यहाँ पर they have taken like hydroxide का, आपको oxide के साथ reaction लिखना है. You can just cancel it. घर पे आप लिखेंगे zinc oxide with potassium hydroxide. ठीक है, what would be the product? I want you to tell me. Zinc oxide with sodium hydroxide. Hydroxide छोड़ के oxide के साथ आप दिखा देना. That is what I want. Okay. Then aluminium, again these reactions are very important. So all the amphoteric one जहाँ पर you are getting the salt and water, यहाँ पर भी same thing is happening. Aluminium oxide is behaving as an acid here. In the very next reaction it is behaving as a base to give me salt and water. And the formula of salt is very important here. Sodium aluminate, potassium aluminate, that is important. ठीक है, very much easy, you can do it. And yes, hydroxides के लिए भी मैम ने दिखा दिया है आपको, so you can remember that the same happens with lead oxide and lead hydroxide. So try to write these reactions in the comment section. So I have a homework, last homework question. Too much of homework? You can do it. You are ICSE students, they're very smart. Yes. How will you distinguish between lead carbonate and zinc carbonate in the solution? Okay, I want each one of you to tell me the answer. So with this we are ending analytical chemistry, and in the next session we would be having a Menti quiz on this chapter. Okay, so come prepared. I want all of you to attend that class, and if in case you have made your mind to come into the subscription for the ICSE courses, then just tie up your shoelaces. 30 August the batch is starting. And yes, 1 month subscription is enough. Go in the description box of this video. You will get a link. Now, when you are making the payment, you have to apply a coupon code SKAPRO. And there's a question for you to be answered in the comment section. Why PhD degree holders are known as doctors? Are they also giving some injections to the patients or what? Are they also treating the patients? Well, you need to think about it. So if in case you have anything, you can reach out to me on Instagram. And Shilpi Mam will see you next time. Thank you so much for attending the class and all the very best. Bye bye.